Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, the Norwegian Civil War, perhaps the world's second most friendly civil war after maybe a Canadian one, is about to begin as MbL, playing as the Vietnamese in blue, gets ready to take on the Viper, playing as the Turks in yellow. Now all the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings with Goat, with Rhino, and with Scouts, and try to get their butts up to Feudal as fast as possible. Let's take a look at the Civ matchup. Oh, very sour. That we'll be watching today. Let's start. The Vietnamese, an archer civilization with access to two very cool archers, in my opinion. The first is their unique unit, the Rattan Archer. This is the second fastest foot archer in the game. Comes with a decent attack and a massive amount of pierce armor. Think Huskarl with a bow and arrow. The second is their other unique unit, the Imperial Skirmisher. This is a better armored version of the Elite Skirmisher and comes with a higher attack bonus against archers and cav archers, which might be problematic for the Viper. Now, if that wasn't enough archer range and whatnot for you, every single unit that comes out of a Vietnamese archery range comes with 20% extra HP. To support their ranged units on the field of battle, the Vietnamese can field the chonkiest of chonky elephants in the game, a massive 420 HP on their fully upgraded elite battle elephants, second, of course, only to the Persian war elephant, and they get the conscription upgrade for free, so they do hit the ground running in Imperial and can start producing units super duper quickly. Now, to afford the cost of training their ranged units and their battle elephants, all economic techs no longer cost wood and now research twice as fast as normal, and their lumberjacks can be upgraded to also generate a small trickle of gold every time they chop down a tree. Now, unlike other civilizations with bonuses, features, characteristics designed to defend their town center from raids, their villagers from raids, the Vietnamese have one that makes them a bit more aggressive on the map. Take a look at the Vietnamese vision. Would notice anything on the minimap? The Vietnamese start the game knowing exactly where their opponent's base is located. So MbL, if he so wishes, once his scout is finished pushing, what are we pushing today? Ostriches, can make a beeline straight for the Viper's base. Now, speaking of the Viper, we've got the Turks in yellow, a civilization built around their worship of that saltpeter, that gunpowder. Their gunpowder units are created faster, have extra HP, come with cheaper technology, and some of them can be upgraded to have a crazy +2 range boost. Now, staying on brand, their unique unit is the Janissary. This is a more expensive but less accurate hand cannoneer that comes with more HP, a better attack, and more armor. But what one thing I love, or rather always do point out about the Janissary, unlike the hand cannoneer, does not come with an attack bonus against infantry. Oh, the Viper's villager taking a little bit of damage there. Did anyone else, by the way? Yes, another villager there. Looks like from the first Rhino pull. Now, to support the Turkish units on the field of battle, they can produce some pretty cool supporting units. Their scout line cavalry units come with extra pierce armor. Their cav archers can be upgraded to get extra HP, and those same scout line units I just mentioned automatically upgraded to their next and better versions once the next age is reached. So if our Turk manages to keep his scout alive until castle, I will very quickly point out when that scout becomes a light cav, and in Imperial when that light cav becomes a hussar. Now, in order to afford their gunpowder units, which if you play the game, you know, are pretty gold intensive, Turkish gold miners do work 20% faster. They get the chemistry upgrade for free, and the free upgrades to light cav and hussar do save them about 1,300 resources in total. I believe 650 food, 650 gold, but just as important, it saves them the research time. So the Turks literally hit the ground running if they're, I guess if the Turkish player does have any light cavalry units from feudal to castle, from castle to imperial. And take a look at blue having pushed the last of the ostriches, or maybe not, maybe just gave up on this last ostrich, because we do see the ostrich still alive, made literally, take a look, a beeline straight for the Viper's base, because he knows exactly where to go. The Viper has discovered the edges of blue's base as well. So let's take a look at resources while the players make their way up to Feudal, the Viper, will reach it about 25 seconds ahead of his opponent. MbL love the nice secure gold patch in the back. Where's the primary stone? A little bit off campus, but ooh, we'll call it the center position. Not really back, not really forward. But take a look at MbL's base. The entire forward portion completely open. And I think the Viper sees it all and knows that there is an opportunity here maybe to put on some pressure. Oh, look at that. MbL immediately, as I say that, starts walling his base off. And it is our Vietnamese who knows exactly where to go that is sending the 2 militias and his scout. Let's take a look at the Viper's gold. Not exactly in the back position, more of a middle of the road position, and the stone as well. So no real resources here in the back of the Viper's base, but unlike MbL, his forward position is a bit more defended, at least in the very, very early stages of the game before archers can come out, because once archers can come out, or rather do come out, this is 2 tiles, and with the 4 or 4+1 range, those lumberjacks better find a new place to jack their lumber. And I'm assuming the Viper has seen the 2 little forest patches to the back. Overall, though, one thing I'm noticing that might actually hurt our Vietnamese in this map is there is not a lot of wood. Let me know what you think in the comments below, but I think these forests are pretty sparse. There's not a lot of giant clumps, and especially not a lot in the immediate vicinity. I mean, our Vietnamese heading home. Why? He sees 3 scouts heading his way, but these are melee, not ranged, so for now, 1 spearman and a few villagers should be able to keep these guys away, but MbL doesn't want to take any chances, doesn't need any kind of disruption to his lumberjack and to his wood gathering. But as I was about to say, take a look at this. 1, 2, 3 small forests only, and then he's got to venture very far off campus. I mean, there's one kind of secure here in the back, but man, what an ugly spawn in terms of lumber. The Viper also, but he's got a few more in the backwards position. I mean, he'll have to contend with this cowardly lion, but his backwards lumber is much better situated than MbL's. Militias, I thought they were going to go home to help with this, but I guess they're just too slow. And so MbL opting to, instead of bringing them back, just build a bit of an army to shoo it away. I'm surprised the Viper has gone all the way home, by the way. His army can run circles around MbL's army, and MbL, by the way, sees the positioning of the Viper's army, so he knows exactly where these guys are, doesn't need to continue walling off his base at all. Why did the Viper choose right now to delete those palisades? Okay, because he wants the villagers to participate in the action. Cutlasses are out, scouts are dying, but at the end of the day, 3 kills to 3. 4 kills to 3. The Viper taking a bit of a lead in the kill count. Will he get this one extra scout? Probably not. But MbL huffs it home with his 3 archers. By the way, take a look at their HP. 36 instead of the usual 30, because again, any unit that comes out of that Vietnamese archery range comes with 20% more HP. Which might not sound like a lot, 30 to 36, but it does mean they need an extra whack in order to die. And an extra whack might just be the extra time that a unit needs to inflict more damage on their opposing units. But look at the Viper catching reinforcements. Did MbL stop on purpose? Look at this. This is crazy. They're literally stacked one on top of the other. That rarely happens in this game. Waiting for players, game paused. Okay, this is the first time I've noticed this. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that. I think we lost a few seconds there. That's never really happened to me with Capture Age before. I will send them an email just to make sure my software is all good and up to date. In the meantime, it's MbL pushing in here with a big force of archer units, but 3 skirmishers in the back. Confusion, the Viper doing what the Viper loves to do, which is try to trap units here in the back. Bringing the scouts back as well, needs them. Definitely needs a little bit of a help here. And this is what I mean by the extra HP on these units. It just makes them a little bit tankier. And a little bit tankier in Feudal Age is a lot tankier. Deking with the scout to the left through the town center. Why is he doing that? He's going to lose that scout. Yes, he does. Did the villager get the kill or the town center? The town center did. And here we go. 3 scouts, a skirmisher, but there's a spearman here. What's the HP on the spear? Full HP, so these scouts need to be very careful. One of them is already at half health. But we'll see. And now look at MbL. Look at this. He knows his army can't last forever at the Viper's base. He knows that the Viper is probably going to look to retaliate. And so starts immediately to wall himself in. Another villager goes down. 3 villager kills to 0 here for MbL. On the low ground, it looks like sometimes it's a little hard to tell. This does look like a hill, like an elevation. Another villager, 5 kills. But the Viper walling himself in, making sure that if MbL wants to attack here, he's got to go through a town center, but he's not quick enough. But at this point, MbL's the initial adrenaline rush is over. These units are about to die, and thus ends all aggression from our Vietnamese, whose army supply now is 7, but only 2 of it, if you can even count these as 2. Look at their HP, 22 out of 72 is left, and the Viper has stood strong. What is his villager count? He's down 4 villagers, which makes sense since he lost 5 villagers to that attack. Army supply, he's down half of his opponent. We'll see what kind of long-term effects the Viper feels here by virtue of losing all of those villagers. I mean, 5 villagers. You know, usually if it's 1 or 2 or 3, you can recover from that. You're okay. You get up your second town center a little quicker than your opponent, although in this case, our Vietnamese is heading to Castle Age light years ahead of the Viper. So MbL will be able to, in theory, get a second town center and maybe a third. He still has his full 200 complement of starting stone. But 5 villagers, I mean, the disparity is shrinking just because the Viper is going up a little bit later than his opponent. A little bit later being what? About 38 seconds, if I'm trying. I shouldn't be so exact. About 35 to 40 seconds. So not the end of the world. Basically 1 villager time build. And let's see what he's planning on doing here, the Viper. What could possibly be the point of this except to keep an eye on your opponent and see what they do and when they do it. And here we go. MbL reveals what he's doing and when he's doing it by ungarrisoning 7 archers, although I think only 6 of them ungarrisoned first. And look at the Viper trying to deke and dodge around this spearman. Brings in this 4th. Where were you? I completely didn't notice that he had a 4th one up here. Sometimes with the yellow color on Arabia, it's a little difficult to see exactly where these individual units are. But MbL moving forward with 9 villagers. Oh, goodness gracious. 9 archers in 15 seconds. He's going to hit Castle. Wanna bet these archers are going to become crossbows with possibly, maybe, I don't know, kind of suspect Bodkin. Bodkin first, crossbow second. Okay, so I was right. I just got the order wrong. Viper, look at that melee. Let's take a look at these scouts, by the way, once he hits Castle Age in 13 seconds. I think you guys know this is my favorite Civ bonus to actually manifest itself. Boom, look at that. And immediately he can now engage with these crossbows. Any other civilization would have to research the upgrade, make sure they have the resources for it. Nuh-uh. The Turks immediately pounce on these crossbows, and now these crossbows are basically going to die. There's a good amount of them left. They're doing a good amount of damage, putting themselves into a bit of a corner here. Has maximized the value of them, did MbL. But by going after this furthest one away, again, they're stacking. Interesting. You see 5 health bars here. And oh, now there's a 6th for a brief second. But there's Pike out. Uh-oh. Husbandry finishes. The speed on these guys is now ridiculous. 1.65 means they have nothing to worry about. This tiny little army snaking its way across the desert. 8 units, 5 busted up crossbows. Actually, no, it's the Pike who are busted up with one of them at 40 HP. But again, with only melee units, no ranged units whatsoever, the Viper's not going to be able to do much damage here, especially not with Pike now on the prowl. The most they can do is run away. The most they can do is maybe try to get some damage here before MbL notices. Good luck with that. Oh, he loses a monk, does the Viper right before he gets convert. And MbL now sees the Knights. The Knights are engaging into Pike. So one Knight definitely dead. Scorpion coming out. Is there a second en route? No, there is not. So MbL basically throwing these units. Is this a distraction? Is this all because he wants to keep the pressure on this side of the map? I mean, this is not a killer army by any stretch of the imagination. Not against an army like the Turkish one can field. And beautiful play here. Blocks on this side, escapes from that side. And now it's dead. So the most I can think of, the most use rather I can think of for this kind of army is a sacrificial lamb. This is the kind of like the worm you dangle on the hook. And back home, what does that mean? A third town center going up. So our Vietnamese wants to pump out that economy. Look at that, 14, 15 villagers ahead. And I said the Viper could catch up in villager count if he could get a town center up before his opponent. Literally the exact opposite happens, where his opponent now has 3 town centers. Viper going Scorpions, interesting. Not a bad choice against a slow-moving infantry army with a nice meat shield of light cav here. Monks can heal. These are not Roman Scorpions with 1 minimum range. These guys have 2 minimum range. The Viper has to keep them nice and back if he wants to maximize their effectiveness. They also don't benefit from ballistics like the Roman Scorpions do. They also don't fire faster like the Roman Scorpions do. My goodness, did the Romans get the best Scorpions? Arguably one of the best. Let's put it like that. I've learned, by the way, on this channel never to say the best, the worst, unless statistics back it up. Otherwise, some know-it-all is going to be like, well, actually, you know, it's the Teutonic Scorpions that come with extra melee armor. It's the what is it, the Fur Celtica, or the drill of the Mongolians that actually is the best. No, so let's just say it's one of the best. These are just basic bitch Scorpions, and the Viper here, keeping an eye on MbL, wants to make sure he doesn't get side swiped by any kind of army. Sees a little bit on the right, didn't discover the one on the left, but now he discovers he's about to be sandwiched. Luckily for him, like I said, 1.65 movement speed means that these light cav can run circles around their opponent. And by the way, look at this big empty space, empty steppes, empty desert in front of MbL's base. This is very much going to help the Viper with his faster moving cavalry versus these slower, albeit quote-unquote counter units. As they move forward, a Mangonel here going to try to help against the Scorpions. And let's see, where it looks like we're about to have a nice battle here. Attack round looks like it may have missed. The second one gets just the clips, just the tip of the cavalry. Mangonel dies without getting almost anything done. But one Scorpion dies as well. The Viper disengaging, surprisingly, gets a convert on a Pike. Why is he disengaging? I guess he wants his Scorpions to move forward. I think he could have very much engaged into that battle, unless these guys, oh, never mind. I forgot to do what I always do, which is highlight the units and take a look at their absolutely terrible HP. They're down 300 HP. And look, the Viper, taking a page out of Hera's book, is nursing his army back to health, whereas take a look at MbL's army is down 300 HP already. Here we go, Mango versus Mango. Who's are fresher? Oh, 2 crossbows bite the dust, but a Scorpion, 2 more bite the dust. 4 kills for this guy. Monks doing what they can. Scorpions surviving in a good quantity, by the way. 4 of them still left. Oh my goodness, one of them has 2 HP. And the Viper just swarms over this army. He's down 28 villagers, but he's up 19 army supply. And MbL's in trouble, drops down a very defensive castle here. The only way this could be more defensive is if it was back here behind the blockade, the wall off. Villagers here to repair the Mangonel. Not bad out of the Viper. And oh, one of my biggest pet peeves, tethering the fast to the slow. Literally the fastest to the slowest. Drops the relic. What the heck? Are you giving MbL this relic? Ferrying it across the desert? Are the Scorpions? No, why isn't he repairing the Scorpions? Because he's building a siege workshop. I mean, he must have seen the castle, right? He's seen the castle. Okay, let's take a look at the resources of the players. Rattan archers on the way. MbL barely getting by with his resources. Does have 7 more villagers on stone after already dropping a castle. The Viper is bringing siege back home. He is down 30 villagers. Oh, I just noticed that when I reloaded the match, it added these, I'm not too sure what these are. Why it says MbL's Elo is 2661. It is not. It is 2753 at the time of playing this game. So ignore if you hadn't already ignored and I just pointed you right to it. What is the game plan of the Viper here? Is he trying to bust through his opponent's castle here with rams? He's got 4 rams in total. Is the Viper going to just try to steamroll over this? Or did he wait a little too long? Now he's down 43 villagers. An army supply. He was up 19. Now he's only up 10. Pikemen doing possibly the worst thing they could do right now. Oh no, the rattan archers as well. One of them looks like he took critical damage from that lion. 13 HP. This is the worst thing that MbL could do right now. Is he relying on the castle and 3 mangonels? Little does he know the Viper is going to have 7 battering rams in a second. Holy moly. And here we go. He's down 42 villagers. That's not enough for our Vietnamese. He is going to start trying to snipe these villagers as well. Pikemen, not too sure why he brought the pikemen. I mean, probably to defend the rattan archers, but at this point, this is really a one-way trip for those rattan archers. And here we go. Here we go. The Viper is moving in. Beautiful, by the way, destruction of that siege workshop. Manages to convert a rattan archer for himself. Cavalry peel off one group to the right to get the make sure the mangonels don't interfere. Oh, at the same time, he's building a house over here, trying to make sure the Viper can't wrap around anything. I'm not too sure what the hell that attack round was. That was a very bad attack round, but there's a second castle going up behind this one. And there's a barracks in the way. There's a lot of villagers that are going to die here. We'll keep an eye on MbL's army with picture-in-picture, but the real battle, the real situation is happening here. The second castle is up. The cavalry now are being fired on. Look at their HP now. Down about 500 HP, and the rams are moving forward. Second castle is about to fall too, but MbL, desperation move. Villagers come out. And look at this, the beautiful placement of the barracks in the house. Oh, he should have destroyed some more infrastructure before moving in. The cavalry are all being attacked. The rams are doing nothing. Oh no. Okay, never mind. One of them is moving in close now, but the pike are here as well. How many villagers did the Viper kill? We'll take a look at the end of this battle. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we won't, because the end of the battle is the end of the game. Holy shit. What the hell just happened? The Viper. Let's take a look at that again. After he destroys that first castle, what happens? Okay. So let's see what happens here. By the way, 11 light cav, 9 knights, 12 light cav. So he destroys this castle. He knows there's a second castle. Obviously, it's firing on his cavalry units. And now this is the moment. The Viper's listening to Eminem. You know, his palms are sweaty, his knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater, mom's spaghetti, and he's taking his one shot to win this rap battle against MbL. But there's a big clog in the drain here. Oh no. I say the Byzantines are good at this, clogging up the works, but so far it's our Vietnamese who's managing. And look at the Viper, just lost all of his cavalry to this castle. And with all of the cavalry dead, these rams don't stand a frickin' chance. And look at that, MbL 26 seconds away from Imperial. Look at the Viper's resources. He needs literally 1,000 more resources before he can get up to Imperial. At the same time, he's being raided back here, so he can't even reinforce. That's why you see this ghost town. Have our rattan archers discovered this? Yes, they have. Wow, the Viper took his one shot to go all in, but MbL somehow presciently knew that if he built this second castle, it would absolutely wreck, stymie all the attempts of the Viper, and the Viper is going to lose this mangonel as well. So losing the mangonel, unable to reinforce it home. No follow-up units whatsoever. This was as much of an all-in as we've ever seen. And like I said, he had one moment and he tried to own it. And I'm going to stop I'm going to stop quoting Eminem lyrics here. Man, oh man, that was an epic final battle here. I mean, look, the Viper tried. Kudos to him for trying. I don't think he expected the second castle to go up immediately. And that's why we saw MbL had 7 villagers on stone, getting that stone count up. 59 pike, 39 light cav, not exactly the craziest of crazy armies, but look at that PKPM 3028, 3023 for both players. Can't see the economy being too good for the Viper here, being down 30, 40 villagers. Yeah, he's down in every resource except, of course, gold because it's the Turks. No relics for anyone. Let's take a look at the kill count. Our Viper, our Turk, has killed more villagers. Obviously, here at the end, look at all these bodies. Literally pools of blood soaking the sands. But it is MbL who also kills at 91 and 12 villagers probably over here. Let's take a look at the kill count of these guys. 5 kills, 4 economy. Okay, so in addition to all the villagers that MbL killed, remember he got 5 villagers early on, that early advantage, and the Viper just didn't build a second town center until really late, whereas MbL had 4 up. I mean 3 that we knew about. The 4th one went up while we were looking at that battle, or maybe earlier and I just missed it. Who knows? I mean, obviously we know we can go back and see the film, but in any event, the Viper taking his chance. What an absolute crazy last battle. And I think it's the positioning of these buildings that just choked him. I mean, look at how ugly. How ugly is this? You want your rams like an airplane landing. You want a clear approach to your target, and instead you get a toilet clogged up with villagers, pikemen, knights, and light cav. All the while the castle just continues shelling away, firing, killing everything you have, and ultimately all your cavalry are gone. All the supporting cast is gone, and there's nothing to save these rams. The Viper decides to tap out, lives to fight another day, and MbL is victorious, gets the big W. But GG to a super quick, lightning fast game. Super fun. GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.